Okay, Dada. So we're here now talking about Dharma and Adharma. Can you explain those points a little bit more clearly?
Okay, the word Dharma, I think it's a very important word for human beings at any time in human history, but I think today it's an extremely important concept. The word Dharma is from Sanskrit language, the ancient language of India. The word in English means the fundamental characteristic of something, of an object. That is its Dharma. So the fundamental characteristic of an object. We give a simple example with fire. So the question is, what is the Dharma of fire? What is the fundamental characteristic of fire? Of course, it is to burn. So we would say the Dharma of fire is to burn, as a simple example. But a more interesting question is, what is the Dharma of human beings? What is the purpose of human beings? What is their fundamental characteristic? And the ancient mystics of the ancient world discovered human Dharma. They didn't invent it. It's not something made up by a philosopher. It was discovered, and it was discovered to have 4 qualities. So the first was, human beings have this desire and capacity to expand their mind. We're not happy to keep our mind in a small level, or somehow contained or constrained. We want to expand the mind. So that was the first characteristic. The second is, humans have the capacity and also the desire to bring their mind into a certain flow. What sort of flow? In a flow with the cosmic mind, with the universal mind. So there's that second idea, flow, being in the cosmic flow. We have this desire to be in this sort of harmonious rhythm, or this cosmic flow. The third quality, service, selfless service. We have a desire and capacity to help others. This is something that characterizes human beings. And the fourth quality we call returning back to the source from which we came. And these have, Sanskrit words to describe each of these 4 points. So that is, merger back into the supreme source from which we come. So when we get clear on what the purpose of human life is, which to these ancient mystics was Dharma, developing ourselves across these 4 qualities: expansion of mind, coming in the cosmic flow, selfless service, and ultimately becoming one again with the source from which we and everything has come. So when we're clear on what this human purpose is, then we can ask the second question, and that is, what is the purpose of human society? And that's a really big question. What is our society meant to be doing? We live in a world full of human societies, different countries, different cultures. So the idea of, well, what is the purpose of human society? What is it actually meant to be doing? And if we look in history, there's many competing versions of what that society is meant to be doing. But again, coming from this Dharma perspective, we can answer very easily what the purpose of human society is. That purpose is to facilitate the human beings to be able to practice Dharma. So that's the purpose of human society, is to facilitate all its citizens to be able to practice Dharma. What does that mean again? It means that humans get the opportunity to expand their mind without limitation, to bring their mind in this subtle cosmic flow, universal flow, to learn and give selfless service, and ultimately, finally, to merge in their source, in that source from which everything comes. So that is, in a simple way, the answer to the profound question, what is the purpose of human society? So when we have that guiding principle of understanding, one, what is the purpose of human life, and secondly, what is the purpose of human society, then we're in a very good position at that point to then assess the state of our societies we're living in. We're all living in a society. Different names, different styles. But when we get clear on this concept of what is the purpose of human life, and secondly, what is the purpose of human society, we're then in a position to be able to assess the status of our own human society, of our own nation, and see how much is the existing society helping us develop in these 4 dimensions, in these 4 levels. Another way of saying that, how much is our society helping in our all-round development? Because Dharma implies all-round development, the realization of the highest potentialities of human beings. And when we take that perspective and start looking at it, our society, we start realizing that actually, in many ways, it's not helping us to develop in these 4 dimensions at all. It's actually somehow doing something else. And secondly, we start becoming aware of other agendas at work in our society. They may be political agendas, they may be economic agendas, they may be cultural agendas, or they may be agendas played out in any branch of human life. And of course, we have just endured almost 12 months of the so-called corona pandemic, this COVID-19 pandemic, and that incredible historical phenomenon that took over our world in this last 1 year, I believe has awoken countless millions of more people to have a critical perspective towards their own society and ask, what is the society actually doing? What is it representing? What are the forces, the powerful forces in the society actually doing? Because the whole coronavirus, the pandemic, the lockdown, and other medical related issues such as the issue of compulsory vaccination have awoken people, awoken a critical thinking capacity in many, many people today. And I think that's actually very, very positive. I think it's a very, very good thing that's happened in that regard. So people are now questioning their governments, questioning the motives of powerful bodies and institutions within their society. And I think that's really positive. So when we start that questioning process, we can take it another step and ask the question, well, what is society really for? What is it, the fundamental purpose of society? And we come back again to this concept of Dharma, the fundamental characteristic of something, the fundamental purpose of something. And I think that's so important today that we get very, very clear on that, and it gives us the capacity then to compare what's going on in our local societies. And I think when we do that, we realize that there's very different agendas at work, and they aren't about promoting Dharma in the people, and they're not actually about creating a benevolent universal society. And I think today many millions of people have woken up to that.